If you hope to be highly self-disciplined and have strong execution in the latter half of your life, I suggest you watch this video fully. To become a super self-disciplined person, you first need an extremely strong self-discipline mindset. What is a strong self-discipline mindset? First, think about why many people fail at self-discipline. It is because those who fail at self-discipline often pursue one thing: absolute self-discipline. Carefully consider, can absolute self-discipline succeed? If you say you will study 10 hours a day, with no entertainment, no games, TV or short videos, and have to eat certain carbohydrates and compounds every day, and must sleep at 10 p.m. every night, can you really persist in this long term? I feel it cannot last long. So for good self-discipline, first give up on absolute self-discipline. Even if you are relatively self-disciplined for 4 hours a day, and relax or entertain yourself the other 4 hours, you can persist. Let me use a crude analogy: making someone eat shit for a day is possible, 10 days they cannot take it anymore. Their self-discipline will absolutely collapse. I met an Edison once who questioned why I was not gritting my teeth in self-discipline but still awake after 1 a.m. I immediately blocked him. Self-discipline does not mean imprisoning yourself like an inmate with extreme demands every day. Firstly, self-discipline needs ebb and flow. You must maintain a relaxed feeling overall. When your state is good, you may achieve absolute self-discipline. When your state is bad, only relative discipline, and most of the time, you should remain very relaxed. Otherwise, practically speaking, 99% of self-discipline attempts will fail. After failure, you will incorrectly attribute it to overpressuring yourself. It's not because of that, but because your self-discipline plan was awful, wanting absolute discipline when your abilities are so poor. With great goals but poor abilities, eventually you fail and then blame it on pressuring yourself. I've taught over 3,000 students, and found that those with the most mental issues are the poorest students, who were long discriminated against, and the top students, who are extremely self-disciplined with high demands on themselves, living anxiously. The middle group is relatively mentally healthier. Self-discipline is related to anxiety. The lowest grade students have anxiety from poor learning methods and constant negative feedback. The top students pressure themselves to work hard, also causing anxiety. If you are highly self-disciplined but also highly anxious, even if you persist, you may eventually have mental illness. If you want to be self-disciplined and accomplish much in life, yet not suffer mental illness, I suggest building a healthy self-discipline mindset to slowly approach what you want to achieve in a relaxed, not anxious state. If you want an increasingly happy life and feel your life improving, I will share a method or mindset that can make you less anxious going forward. But first I must bring up camera culture. A major reason we live tired, bitter lives is that we now live in a camera culture. You may not realize nowadays many poor people are trapped online. We see online every day that others are so self-disciplined and successful, averaging Harvard graduates and accomplished people. Comparing that to yourself in reality, you feel like a failure, pathetic. In this case, you become anxious. I endured for a grueling 7 years, mostly hearing I should be stomped to death, my corpse smeared on the ground, that I was useless and should get lost, having not accomplished anything worthwhile. How did I endure it? Mainly through this method. Because our world has too much camera culture. Those young girls, before eating a meal, will first photograph it, and post on social media what a delicious meal it is. But she may only eat like that once a month. She travels far for 7 hours to some scenic area, exhausted to the brink of death, yet poses vibrantly at the scenic spot to capture very beautiful photos, when in fact she is physically and mentally spent. So think, isn't camera culture making people anxious? They want to show only the most beautiful side of life, capturing in photos the best meals they eat only once a month, or the rare luxurious restaurant visit, to make others anxious about how good their life is, how many friends they have, when actually they are suffering domestic violence at home. Once you abandon this must mentality, your world will start to feel relaxed and light. But you still pursue your goals, dreams and desired life. For example, when I got older and really wanted to find a partner, if I thought I must make people like me, then I would focus every day on my face. Is my nose crooked? Are my eyes big enough? What to do with pimples on my face? Feeling distressed and anxious. But later I abandoned this must. I approached any girl with the mentality that it's fine if she doesn't like me, people have reasons not to like me. When I gave up others must like me, I became very open-minded and nonchalant. I then focused on my career. For instance, if your parents demand you must get into some famous graduate school, you will feel very depressed, oppressed and anxious, because that does not match your abilities and likelihood of achieving it. Long-term suppression and anxiety like this will make someone ill. After I understood this, I only kept striving behaviorally, and thought, if it happens, great, if not, it was meant to be. Abandoning absolute musts does not mean really giving up. My behavior did not give up, I still strived very hard, but I did not have to accomplish those things in the end. Simply put, just do your best and leave the rest to fate. Think carefully, isn't all your pain and suffering from the phrase I must? For example, that idiot debating and scolding me online, I must make him agree with me, then I become distressed and pained, arguing endlessly with him. But without the must, I directly block him. Doesn't that feel more relaxed? I believe in value system A, but my wife believes in value system B. I must make her agree with me, then there will be arguments and pain. It's not to say must is always wrong. You should give up most musts. On some principled issues you can persist in certain musts, like you must not steal, must not casually insult others. Sometimes keeping musts in moderation is a password to a happy life. I think a major reason many people strive and not choose to lie flat is that they are unsatisfied, wanting the life they desire but unable to attain it. However, spiritual coercion serves no purpose in getting your desired life. You can only seek it through your actions and behaviors. When your actions reach 100%, you have a high probability of getting close to it. So separate your behaviors from spiritual coercion. The better this separation, the happier you will be. Like I want to be a best-selling author, but when I obsess over this must every day, I feel miserable because I constantly feel the gap from my goal. Without this must mentality, I switched my thinking to gaining a lot of capability improvements. I once proposed a capability radiation theory that as a person progresses more behaviorally, doing more things, their capabilities expand outwards like a circle, becoming bigger and bigger. When this capability circle becomes big enough, it will start uncovering opportunities for development and advancement. Then as you grasp those opportunities, you grow bigger and bigger. This is my self-created capability radiation theory. I believe as my writing capabilities expand bigger and bigger, perhaps I can become an author, top YouTube influencer, someone who makes a living from writing. And because I don't have the must obsession, but instead the capability radiation theory, I feel my life improving more and more. For example, I'm now preparing to create an AI product, which may generate 100K monthly income, but may also fail. So I accept that, while keeping honing skills in this area, researching it. Who knows, maybe one day I'll seize the opportunity. So people like us are called pessimistic optimists. I think pessimistic optimism is a very rewarding choice. Whether you choose to believe me or not, you can give it a try.